This week in reading, we will describe characters in a story and explain how their actions contribute to the sequence of events. You will be reading Hairpocalypse this week. We will describe the characters in the story. That means you will tell what the character is like. The way you will do that is by using character traits. A trait is a particular characteristic, quality, or tendency that someone has, such as brave, scary, fierce. You will also use motivations. You will think about what is motivating the character to do something in the text. Your motivation for doing something is what causes you to want to do it. Then you'll also think about the character's feelings. Then we will talk about how the character's actions contribute to the sequence of events. So the actions are what the character does and says. When the character contributes, that means that they're doing something that causes something else to happen in the text. This week, we will think about how the character feels at different parts of the story and why they might feel that way. Thinking about the different parts of the story will help us understand that a character's action or reaction in an event causes other events to happen, and we can track how the character changes from the beginning of the story to the end of the story. Let's get ready to read. Hairpocalypse. Aiden Allen was a grubby kid. His clothes were always wrinkled, his shoes were always untied, and he always seemed to have grass stains on his knees. But none of that was the problem. As a reader, I'm already thinking about how I can describe this character because the author just gave me a lot of describing words. He's wrinkly, seems pretty messy because his shoes are untied, he's got grass stains on his body. So I'm thinking he's not a really neat, organized kid because even looking at the picture, he has a banana peel there, his hands are tossed out, some are broken, there's a sock. Just looks like a messy kid. The real problem was that Aiden Allen's hair was completely out of control. It was just messy. It seemed to have a mind of its own. Lie down, hair. Why can't you behave? His hair seemed to move. His hair seemed to shrug. This is not possible, Aiden thought. Now you'll need a notebook and a pencil to respond to these questions. How do the illustrations contribute to our understanding of the characters on this page? Look at the character's face. What can you tell about him? What is the character saying? What does that tell you about the character's motivations? Take a minute and write down your answers to these questions. Aiden reached into a drawer and pulled out his mom's big blue brush, but when he brushed, the bristles immediately became tangled in his greasy locks. His hair seemed to be grabbing the brush. His hair spun the brush in a circle and then flung the brush into the toilet. This is not good. Wow, so I know that we're still at the beginning of the book because we've met the characters, Aiden and his hair. We know the setting. He's in his bathroom in his home somewhere. And the problem has already presented itself. His hair is doing a whole lot and being messy, right? So here's my question about this page. It'll be number 2 in your notebook. What is the character doing on this page? What is his motivation for doing it? What event does he cause to happen? Take a moment and write your answers down. At the breakfast table, Dad looked up from his phone and shook his head in dismay. Aiden, your hair is crazy. You have to do something. I already tried, Aiden said. Better try again, Dad said. Just then, the school bus honked its horn in front of Aiden's house. There's just no time, Aiden said as his hair grabbed his spoon and dumped his cereal on the floor. Question number 3. What was Aiden's problem in the story? How does the illustration help contribute to your understanding of the boy's feelings on these pages? Write your answers in your notebook under number 3.